Hi guys, how are you on this rather cold day today? The temperature's dropped a little bit and it's overcast. And I think this is also why actually it is a little cooler again, because it is overcast. The sun is gone. But I am really excited about today's video because obviously this is part 3 and today is a day where I'm finally taking you to the back of a slope and we're going to assemble the raised beds. This is exactly the moment that I've been working towards with you in my previous videos. All I need to do now is quickly hop to the garden shed, collect the last of the tools that I need, and then we go to the back of a garden, to the slope, and finally tackle that. So I hope you're excited about today's video. I'm standing on the area that I want to transform into my raised bed area right now. And you're standing, by the way, in the gateway. So this is a view that you have if you enter the slope from the garden. So you're looking straight onto the 3 terraces that I'm still building for my fruit and veg production of this year. So you saw that we've been working quite a lot on this area in the past videos, and I still tackled it and leveled it out. I try to level it as good as I can, but the moment of truth comes obviously when I put my raised bed here, because only then I know, is it level or is it going to be wonky? So fingers crossed that I've done a good job. What I want to do is, first thing that I will do is put landscape fabric here. And I know landscape fabric is never the best thing to put on soil because you block it. You do not improve your soil at all. But I put raised beds here. And we have vowels. We don't only have a mole or an entire empire of moles, we also have vowels. And vowels and raised bed, that is a complicated story because vowels, they could come in from beneath your raised bed and then they start munching on whatever lovely thing you are growing in your raised bed, and I don't want that. I do not want to come to the point of a nice harvesting video with you in, I don't know, 4 or 5 months from now where I'll be harvesting carrots and then I'm just harvesting, well, munged on carrots. So this is why I put landscape fabric there, to make sure that vowels cannot come in. You can also put mesh like chicken wire or anything else in it as well. I'm going to talk you through how to build a raised bed in a moment anyway. So this is the first thing I'm going to do, put landscape fabric here. Then how do I want to position the raised beds? I've got 3 in total. I thought, because this is kind of like stretched out, first I thought I'm going to put them all parallel, but then I was like, that might be boring. So I came up with an idea, and I hope that works out, to put one here, one in the length here, and then the other one there. So I kind of built a little bit of a U shape, which means that there is kind of like this little court here. And all those areas where you would just step on the landscape fabric, I will put mulch on top of it to make it look nicer. And then I could also arrange pots here. And I will have, if there's one raised bed here, a little bit of a strip between the raised bed and the basket weave fence, where I can put some perennials, some annuals, and I thought maybe an acer would be nice. Something with a lovely red foliage and autumn interest, just to cheer up this entire area even more. And there is this path on the top here, which is still covered by landscape fabric. This is going to go away in a moment because I think I'm going to use it here as well. I will mulch that area, and then when I build kind of like this U here, that means that I just need a little bit of a path there, and that leaves more than half of that old pathway to plant it up as well. So I hope this is going to work out. I think this is going to work out, and I hope that this is going to look nice. First thing I'm going to do now is really put the landscape fabric here, and then let's start building the raised bed. I hope it won't be too difficult. I already carried one here. That thing is really heavy, by the way, but I just quickly looked at it and I think that it won't be too difficult. I think they've already done a good job of pre-assembling it. So let's start. I successfully managed to build a black box made of plastic. If that is not absolutely beautiful, I mean, thinking that at one point this is hopefully going to be a pretty sight. I mean, Alfie makes it pretty already now. But wow, I looked at it from the distance and I was like, what on earth am I doing here? At least I know which direction I'm heading, so I'm sure that in a month from now this is going to look pretty. I hope at least. So next thing to do is to focus on this here. This is the first raised bed, and I can already show you there's a plan on how to construct it. So now is a moment of the truth. Hopefully this is going to be easy. The moment of truth. Fingers crossed that it'll be as easy as IKEA. I can already tell you, looking at the color of the wood, I like it. It's black stained, or more like an anthracite. It's not like pitch black, but it's a nice color, I think. Let me just show you first. This is the color of it. I think this is nice. I really like it. Not smelly, which is also nice. It's kind of like I want to grow vegetables in here, so obviously I want to make sure that this is kind of not like a weird kind of stain. Oh, that is it. There must be another construction plan in here, because there is not a construction plan. This is just kind of like the parts that are in here. Okay. All right, so what I'm going to do now is unpack everything, and hopefully there is another plan in there, or hopefully this is going to be super easy and I'm really going to understand on how to assemble it. Let's see. Alfie, are you going to help me? Are you going to be a help? Are you going to support me? Yeah, you are? Okay, so let's start. Come on. All three raised beds are set up and positioned. I'm happy about it. I think they look really nice. I took a photo and quickly sent it to a friend, and he replied, "Oh yeah, it looks like a salmon tree." Well, not quite what I was aiming for, but I mean, there was definitely the notification for me to be like, yeah, I need to put some cheerful plants there maybe as well, and some greenery and make it appear like a little more joyful, maybe. Well, not really. That came a little unexpected, but still, I'm really happy with that. Like, I spaced them out how I want them to be spaced out. I've mulched the area in. So what I'm going to do now is I quickly flip the phone, show you up close how they look, and then I also want to explain you how to fill the raised beds, because you can tell they are quite high. They are not one of these like really short raised beds, and there is a specific method and way on how you fill those. This is how I enter the slope again from the garden. So there's a gateway, and here they are. 3 raised beds, and you can also tell I already put 3 bags of soil there, which I'm going to use in a moment. And this is a path that guides to the raised beds. You can tell I don't need to have the entire path, because this is the area where I'll work. Oh, focus. This is the area where I work. So I need to walk up until this point, basically. And everything from this point to the back I can plant up, which really excites me, because I think this will make the area more cheerful. And I also have this area here, in between the fence section and the raised bed, at least a meter. So I could also plant it up really nicely. I thought about maybe acer here, some asters, some annuals, some really fun stuff that is just going to make this entire area more exciting. And then I position the 3 raised beds like this, because if I step in this area here, I could easily access every single raised bed, because they are not so steep. You can tell that I can easily reach them. And they are in a very good shape and good quality, I would say. They are hardwood. They are quite heavy, which is not a bad thing. And I think considering the price, the quality is definitely good. If I remember, I try to remember to put the link where I got them from below this video, so you can check it as well if you're intrigued. And what I thought is, behind this raised bed, there is still a little bit of space left. So eventually I will put a fruiting tree here as an espalier. That was just my idea, but this is the view that I get to enjoy when I'm working here. And this excites me as well, because you know, it is kind of like a part of the garden, but it is where the garden completely opens up towards the landscape, which is beautiful. Alfie is eating. Oh no, that is not good. No, 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 no. I don't even know where she found that now. Alfie, keep your stick. Look what she had. That is definitely not good. That goes straight into my pocket now. What I want to show you as well is, I thought about, okay, I've got these terraces. How do I get from terrace to terrace? And I found these here at my preferred Swedish furniture shop. Is it safe and sound? Kind of. So I found these little, I don't know, is it a step? Is it a stool? How would you describe it? It came at a very good price. So it was natural wood, and I decided to stain it to make it a lot more uniform, because I think that it's going to look really nice in combination. And Alfie pops really nice with her light fern as well, don't you? Do you like this area? You do? Do you know what I like? That this is no open soil anymore. So if you walk on here or sit here, your little tiny feet, they stay cute. They stay cute. You don't care, right? Because I wash you in the end. Oh, look, the sun comes out. The sun comes out again. So beautiful. A little hard for me to look now, but doesn't matter. I'm happy when the sun is out. So when it comes to filling your raised beds, you'll come across all different kinds of methods, but there's one thing that everybody recommends, and obviously I'm going to do it, is you line the entire interior of your raised bed with foil, and this is what I do. I have foil here, wrap it around, and then I hammer it in. If you happen to have a staple gun, even better, because that makes it faster. I don't have one. And the reason for why you do it is to make sure once you put soil in there, obviously you water the soil, and you don't want that the interior of your raised bed starts to rot. You want to have this raised bed for many, many years, so this is why you line it with foil. If your raised bed is made of plastic or metal, a material that naturally can't rot, this step does not apply. This only applies to natural material raised beds. Then to the filling. Obviously, I already prepared the ground, so I put landscape fabric here, and the reason I told you is to make sure that no vowels come in. If you don't use landscape fabric, you should definitely use chicken wire. I'm still going to use it because I really want to be better safe than sorry in the end. So what you do is just use your chicken wire from the roll, make sure the entire bottom is completely covered with that, so that no little predator can come in and munch on your vegetables that you're growing in here. When it comes to the filling, I use 4 layers. There are different blocks that would recommend you up to, I don't know, 7 or 8 layers in total. And I thought, okay, that gets a little too much for me. So what I do is, first layer, I use branches. And this is a good time of the year, by the way, to start a raised bed, because we are in that time of the year where you prune your shrubs, your fruiting trees, your trees, and also your perennials. So you have a lot of that material, and you could use it perfectly now. So this is a good size, actually. I try and make sure that all of the branches and twigs that I have are in a similar size. Fill it up. I walk in here, trample it down a little bit. And you use branches to allow circulation into your raised bed. So this is definitely, I think, a quite important step to do. And what it does as well as these branches, obviously, they won't be so compact. So over the time, microorganisms will work their way into here, break them down, and you will end up with lovely compost at the base. But the soil level in your raised bed is also going to sink down bit by bit, and that allows you to always backfill it year after year with fresh soil, so you always have good new soil for the plants that you're growing in your raised beds. This is layer 1. Layer 2, again, beautiful because that comes from cuttings from my garden. I've got this entire bucket full of cuttings from a perennial border. So I have these stems here, I've got grass. I try to make sure that I don't use anything that had seed heads on it, even though it will be buried quite deep into the raised bed. So I don't think that anything would really germinate in here. And this is a smaller structure, but still it allows air circulation in. But obviously this is also going to break down over time. The third layer, I am going to use garden compost. I don't have any leaf mulch left anymore, unfortunately, or leaf compost left anymore. But I have a compost heap, so I can get in there and take some fresh compost out of there and spread it out evenly. And this is going to be good for the roots of your vegetables because this is really feeding the roots. The fourth and the last layer is fresh garden soil. So I use a multi-purpose garden soil from the garden center, which is also good for vegetable growing. There are tomatoes and radishes on there, and it's even organic. When it comes to that soil, I would just recommend do yourself a favor and buy a little better quality soil, because cheaper soil, from my experience, which you might get along with in your normal flower bed, basically you could just dig it under, sometimes it might clump a little bit when it gets wet. And a better quality garden soil normally is loftier and nicer, and you allow your plants to develop better and stronger roots. And this is really important, obviously, for vegetable growing. This is exactly what I'm going to do now. I will fill just one raised bed together with you. So let's start. Somebody's tired and takes a nap in the beautiful afternoon sun. Oh, look at that. Isn't that just wonderful? This is one of the reasons why I really love and enjoy working on the slope here. And you could tell first raised bed is ready, and you could also tell that I couldn't resist but potting up some flowers. So what happened is, when I went to the garden center, the woman was preparing the landscape fabric for me, and in the meantime, when I was waiting, I was just browsing, and then I found some lovely spring blooms, and I thought, they're nice. Do I really need them? Maybe not. But then the longer I waited, they started speaking to me, and they said, Daniel, buy me, buy me. And then I couldn't resist. Look at that very special coloring that's going on in these primulas here. Like, as they age to this beautiful rusted, kind of like a burnt caramel, burnt orange color. Absolutely loving it. And I thought, down on my slope, I want to start this peach and blue kind of border, and they would be a perfect addition for it. And then obviously I needed to have these little tiny violas in the most glorious electric blue. They're really glowing in the sun. Wonderful little cuties, and especially when you see how wonderful any kind of color works in front of a black backdrop. Colors really start to pop, so I'm very happy about that. Also happy that the first raised bed is done. Could have needed more soil though. There's 6 bags of garden soil already in here. These raised beds, they gobble up material, literally. But I'm happy that I bought a good quality soil, because as you can see, it is lofty, nice, crumbly, just perfect. So I think this is going to be off for a flying start. I might start direct sowing salad crops and cilantro in here. One of the next future videos that I'm going to do with you for sure, maybe just a side project, is also work on the pathway here. Because what I want to do is remove a little bit of the topsoil, level it out, and then mulch it. Because once this is mulched, I can walk from the garden onto this area and back without getting dirty, muddy shoes. If that is not amazing, oh, that is like a lovely thing to think about. But before that happens, it's the perfect time to enjoy this. That is it for today's video, and I'm honestly happy that the raised beds are finally standing there, and I'm a little in disbelief that they are finally there. There is a plant that was like lingering around in my mind for quite a while already, and I'm just happy. I'm really happy, and I can't wait to finally start using that space and the area. This was like 3 days of only dedicating videos to this one project, but I think it was worth it. I hope you agree. I also hope that you're excited that I take you on this journey with me and you really get to see how this entire area develops and the progress that I'm making here. So all I can say now is I hope you have a wonderful Saturday, guys. Take care. Bye.